Judah, last year against Oregon State, you got to have kind of the same feeling Akella had the other day by getting the interception to seal a win. When you look back at what Akella did and what you did, I mean, how do you compare those two wins and what they've meant to this program as you guys are trying to build everything?
Oh man, Akelo's play was, I think, was way more awesome. Just seeing one of your brothers or teammates that you go to grind with every day, him make him play like that, it makes you feel, 10 times better than you actually making the play. So, seeing Akelo make that play a million times, and a couple of games he's kind of dropped some of those picks or had those opportunities, and having that opportunity there at the end of that game to finish it and win the game, it really felt good, especially for the DBs, knowing it was on us.
Chido, kind of a big picture question here. If you could cite maybe 2 or 3 reasons for the improvement of this football team this year, what would they be?
Number one, definitely leadership. We have a great group of guys that, I always keep saying it, how we were Coach Mac's first class. We really understood what he wanted out of us, and we've been 4 years in this program now. So we kind of have that understanding of what he wants out of his leaders. All of us are seniors, juniors, redshirts, sophomores, and now we really know, how to get it done. We've been through the battles, blowouts. We've blown out some teams, and we've, been in close games, but on the winning end and the losing end. So all that experience, really built this team to where it is now. And then definitely attitude too. We don't let things slide by anymore. If someone's sleeping in a meeting, we know that they're freshmen or they're young, that they're not really used to this college lifestyle, but we get on them real quick. If someone's late to something, we get on them real quick. So really holding each other accountable and having that attitude that we're not going to let anything go by really helped us so far.
Do you think that the last couple years just of having coulda, woulda, and shoulda win games slip through your fingers, do you think that had an effect on the outcome of the Oregon game? Was there some sort of mental bank that you could withdraw from, just knowing that you were there so many times and having that feeling of should have won these games? Did that go in at all to the Oregon game?
The Oregon game was a great win. We've been in that situation plenty of times, in the past. And, of course, you kind of hit yourself. It hurts that you didn't win those games. But, the Oregon game could have ended the same way, with us losing if we didn't have that experience. So I definitely think that, being in all those games has definitely built us to the team that we are now. We've gone through so much adversity that I feel like, whatever comes at us, we're going to fight through it.
Chido, the level of competition that you played the last 2 weeks went up dramatically from the first 2 weeks, but the defense obviously allowed many more yards, many more points. How would you gauge your performance the last 2 weeks as a unit compared to the first 2 weeks?
Any team you line up against, they're ready to beat you. So, we definitely know that, the teams we played before in the past, the first 2 weeks, were different teams than the teams we played in the last 2 weeks. So, every week comes a different preparation. If they're a running team, passing team, if they're going to go to the slot, to the outside, if they're going to run the perimeter or inside. So, every week's different. So now we're just focusing on Oregon State. We know that they have a really good receiving core, a big back that likes to run through people. So we're definitely going to be focusing on them this week, trying to see how we can handle that.
Chido, following up on his question about the Oregon game, now that you guys finally did come through in one of those games against an opponent that, even though they weren't ranked, Oregon still probably somewhere in that top 25 conversation, getting that win and having the tangible evidence of pulling it out in the end, what does that do for you guys moving forward?
I mean, just like any other win, when we won Idaho State, Colorado State, Oregon, it don't really matter. It just gives us confidence. Our goal every week is to go 1-0, and our ultimate goal is to be Pac-12 champions. So, in the grand scheme of things, it definitely helps that. And we were happy, we celebrated, we had our fun. But now we're just trying to, focus in on Oregon State and keep this train rolling. So,
Chido, can you point to a specific moment when this team realized it's just, maybe one extra hour of film study or one more rep in the summer, or, you mentioned not letting guys sleep in meetings. Was there a specific point where it turned and you guys realized it just needed a little more?
Well, I mean, the past 3 years has been really hard for a lot of the young guys. We looked up to the older guys. That last game, I would say, or knowing that we're not bowl eligible, and then seeing those seniors' eyes, juniors' eyes, that's the last time they're going to play for Colorado football. There's tears in their eyes, and you're going around hugging every senior, and, you're really realizing that you don't want to go out that way and that you owe these people something. So, that really built into us that, that we can't, make the same mistakes that we did as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, that we got to, try to become leaders And, you know, when we won that Oregon game, I was in tears of joy just because I knew when I was a freshman, like players like Chidobe, Jared Bell, Parker Orms, like a lot of people that I looked up to, we were getting blown out. And, you know, just giving them that, I hope they know that we won that for them and that they had a big part in that and teaching us how to battle through a lot of stuff. So.
Any more questions?
Oregon State's got a different quarterback play than they had last year. Have you seen a big difference in what they've got? I know, you know, their starter is injured and we don't know if he's going to play, but from the two guys they have, how much better is their quarterback play from what you've seen?
I mean, both the quarterbacks that they have going for this week are pretty similar. You know, they like to get the balls out to their receivers. You know, they don't really waste time in the pocket. So it's going to be a really good time, or really good opportunity for our D-line to show out again. You know, they had a great week against Oregon, and we're going to need them again this week against Oregon State. You know, everything that the DBs do, you know, a lot of us were getting accolades and stuff like that, but it's all onto the D-line. You know, they should be getting all the accolades. They really set it up for us to make plays in the back end. So.
Chido, how strong a runner is Kyle Evans, and what makes him as productive as he's been?
Oh, man, Kyle, he's a very big competitor. You know, I grew up with Kyle. I actually played Pop Warner with him. He was my fullback. So I know how tough he is or how tough he's been. And when he came out here, I was so excited for him. And then in him earning his scholarship and keep grinding, I see him outside of the regular hours doing extra stuff all the time in the offseason. So, you know, he really deserved it. And, you know, it's been showing on Saturdays. You know, in practice, he's a really small guy, so it's hard to see him like over the linemen. So he has that knack of just getting loose, and that if you don't wrap up, he's just going to pop off. So, you know, I really love Kyle and what he's been doing. So I really, you know, I've been going for him since day one. He's a San Jose guy like me, so hopefully he keeps it going.
Kyle, there's obviously some serious momentum around this football program now, more so than probably in your career here at Colorado. Are you hoping this momentum spills over to the fans and you guys start seeing more people at the games? And I know that's not your main focus. You're focusing on Oregon State, but what would it mean to you for this momentum to spill over to some of the fan base and have those guys support you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, we know Colorado's a big-time college football program. That's why we came here. We wanted to reinstill that to everybody in the community, in Boulder and Colorado in general. You know, we want everybody from Colorado to come out to the games, people to fly out to the games. We don't care if you've been here for, you know, a fan for 10 years, 20 years, or if you just became a fan today. We welcome all the support. So, you know, it really feels good for the players to know that we have that support and that no matter what, that they're going to stick by us. So, you know, if any fan, you know, saw the game and wants to come out, you know, we'd really love that.
On that same accord with the fans, when you guys come off the buses from Oregon, when you get back here and see a group of fans there, what did that mean to you?
Oh, that was ridiculous. I never seen something like that. So, you know, it was like 12:30 at night, and they still came to show support. You know, everybody gave them a handshake and dap. So that really felt good that they're really sticking behind us, and, you know, they really believe that the rise or whatever the people are calling it now is really real. So, you know, we really appreciate that from everybody.